Hey everybody, it's Christina. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having a wonderful day. And it is July, so I am very much looking forward to playing with some new Spellbinders releases that are winter themed, especially today when it's almost 90 degrees and the humidity is really high. So I thought it'd be fun to do something kind of wintry themed and make me feel like I'm a little bit cooler than I really am. We are going to be playing with the Winter Garden collection. They have a little ice skate die here, which is really nice. And they also have a couple of other things. I also have the letterbox die. And I will do a blog post on this one. If you don't follow me on my blog, please do. I post things there that are not always filmed and finished projects. So if you want to see some other finished projects, head over to my blog. I have a link to it down below in the description. But we are going to be playing with the ice skate, and I'm going to be die cutting this onto some cream colored cardstock. This is Alabaster by Spellbinders. I also have this dark brown cardstock, so I'm going to be cutting the bottom half of my skate with that. And I also have some of the beautifully brushed silver cardstock by Spellbinders that I'm going to use for the blade of my skate. So that is for that. And then we're going to be using, also from a new release, this is the Parcel and Post collection, the Christmas decorations set. And this has some really cute decorations for the holidays. There's also a mailbox that you can buy that you can use this along with a Glimmer plates set for decorating your mailbox and make some cute cards. But not only do they have Christmas, there's a love themed, and I believe there's also another themed collection for decorating the mailbox. But we're going to go with the Christmas one. And I am going to be using this little twig or pine piece, and we're going to die cut this a couple of times onto this dark green cardstock. This is Fern by Spellbinders, and then we are also going to be die cutting this little twig here. I'm going to die cut this twice, and we're going to die cut this onto this green cardstock here. And I do not remember the name of it, but it will be down below in the description if you want to check it out. But it's also a Spellbinders cardstock, and I absolutely love this color. So we're going to die cut this twice onto that green cardstock. And then I'm also going to die cut this little set of berries. There's 3 different groupings or different types of berries in here. There's a little section with a grouping of berries, but then we also have little tiny ones. There's 5 of those, which you can use on your sprigs of your twig here. And then there's also a larger size berry. So we're going to cut those out onto this red cardstock. This is Phone Booth. And then I'm bringing in an older die set. This is Yana's Sentiments, which is a Glimmer set along with a die cut set. I am going to die cut or Glimmer the greeting sentiment and then die cut it with its matching coordinating die, and we're going to be doing that as well. So let's get started, and we are going to go ahead and die cut. I am going to hop off camera and die cut these all of these pieces, and we'll come back and put everything together. Do you ever have just one of those crafting days that when you are excited about making something and everything goes wrong? Everything. I dropped dies. I went ahead and did my greeting, and I was having some difficulties with it, and I was almost like, all right, I'm scrapping this, not filming the video, but I'm going to plug along. I went ahead. I have my little pine needle branches cut out, my little twigs here along with the little tiny berries, which I am going to go ahead and put these together first because I am worried I'm going to misplace one of those berries. I have pulled out my little picker tool. This is the jewelry picker. I use this all the time. It's great for picking up those little tiny pieces, but it is so humid that nothing wants to stick, so except for to me. So we're going to give it a try, but I am going to use a little bit of glue and glue those little berries onto my little twig right here. So I'm doing my last little twig here, and we are going to stick down our little berries. Okay, so our little twigs are ready. I'm just going to set those aside to let that glue dry. And while that's doing that, I am going to go ahead and put together my little ice skate here. I'm just going to go ahead and pop out the little areas for our shoelaces. And then I'm going to take these two pieces. Now this is the blade. We're going to use the brushed silver for the blade, and then I have the dark brown, which I'm going to use for the bottom of our shoe. I thought I would show you on the die itself. There are these groove areas. It's kind of hard to see on the cardstock, but I thought I'd show you. So the shoe has outline of, or the skate rather, has an outline of the bottom half of the shoe, and then we have the blade, and there are little kind of grooved areas that give you kind of a cutting guide so you can cut with your scissors. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out those pieces. And for my shoe, I am going to just grab my little pair of scissors here and cut out the shoe part. So we are going to go right along that groove that the die cut when it was running through the machine. Or not in cut, but it embossed it. And I am going to just take my scissors, run along that little groove there, and cut this out. And then we'll also cut off the ice skate part. Although I could leave that on and just glue the ice skate on there, but I already went ahead and cut it off. Or the blade to the ice skate, rather. So I already cut it off, but you could just leave that on there and then put the ice skate part right onto that piece. So the other thing I have to do is just take the brushed silver piece, so it has our blade, and again just cut along those little areas that are indented or embossed into the cardstock, and those are kind of your cutting guides of where you need to trim your pieces. So we can go ahead and start putting this together. I am going to go ahead and do the bottom half of my shoe first. I'm going to use my tweezers just to kind of hold my piece. This is what I mean by like nothing's going right. Why is my glue oozing out of my bottle? I've never had that happen before. I think I need to take like a crafty vacation. Alright. I just used a paper wipe. We got that all cleaned up. Let's just see how the rest of this card comes together. Alright. Alright, I am adding some adhesive to the bottom part of my shoe. Or my ice skate. I keep calling it a shoe. And we're going to put that right along the bottom. So cute. At least it went in place the right way. And then we're going to take our ice skate, and our ice skate blade needs to have some glue onto the bottom of that as well. I love Spellbinders brushed gold and the silver, and I love that you could die cut pretty much on any side of this cardstock because it is, you know, the same all the way through, which I think is great. All right, so there is our ice skate. I am going to let this dry, and we'll be right back and show you what we're going to do next. So now that our ice skate is all together, we can go ahead, and I feel like my ice skate needs shoelaces. And the only red twine I have is this waxy twine, and it's really kind of thick, so I don't know how easy it's going to be to make this into a shoelace. So I am going to probably do this off camera, but I am going to tape a piece of this down and just kind of keep twining it through or winding it through until I get what I think looks like a shoelace. All right, so there we go. That came out pretty good. It was a little bit of a challenge. I did have to tape down in the on the back of the ice skate just to keep this twine pretty straight and not kind of falling off. So I did that. I also went ahead and used this embossing folder. This is the Diamond Plaid embossing folder. I love this embossing folder. I've used it quite a few times. And embossed this kind of a tan colored cardstock, and I cut this down to be about 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to mat this onto a piece of the same color dark brown cardstock that I used for my ice skate. And we're just going to go ahead and use some just double-sided adhesive on here and mount that onto that cardstock. All right, we have that done. And then I'm going to add some foam adhesive to the back of my ice skate. I'm having a crafty day. Oh, I just dropped something else on the floor. Oh, of course, day and a half. Day and a half. All right, I am definitely having a day and a half. Okay, I put the foam adhesive back onto the back of my skate and then realized I need to add my twigs. So I already removed the backing off of my foam adhesive, so we're going to have to do a little improvising. I want to make it so that my pine and my twigs here are coming out of my ice skate. So I'm just going to, using that foam adhesive on the back, kind of lay these into place. May have to add some additional adhesive to the back just because we're layering. So I'm going to turn this over. We're going to add some liquid adhesive to the back of this to help hold it. And then we'll take some more of our twigs. I kind of just want them coming from the center. And once I have these on, I'm going to take my twigs that we put together with the berries and put those into place. Okay, before I do anything else, I am going to put this shoe down before I have some kind of major catastrophe, which is already struggling to happen. So I am going to just add some adhesive back here to hold this into place. And then we're going to go ahead and tuck in just our little berry twigs. Please, in the comments, any of you, or is it just me today, having issues with crafting? I don't know if it's just my kind of creative mood right now with the summer. Usually in the summer I get a little uncreative, I guess, or I kind of lose my mojo, and I am trying really hard not to let that happen, because every time I let that happen, I end up going away from YouTube for a long time, and I don't want to do that. So we've got our little berries tucked in here. So cute. I really like that. So we're going to leave it just like that. I have my greeting, which I mentioned I already went ahead and did. I have to tell you, when I was cutting out this greeting, I go to run this through my machine, and there was a piece of cardstock wedged down in the rollers. I don't know if it was stuck, like static wise, to one of my plates, and I didn't know it was back there, and when I ran it through my machine, it got stuck in the rollers. So that was like another catastrophe that was happening during this card. So we have our sentiment. Let me just go get a card base and we could put this together. And the last thing we need to do is just add this to a card base. So this is a piece of white cardstock cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. So we have a nice top fold card. I am going to flip this over, and barring no other catastrophes, we will have this card all done and put together, and it will be adorable. I think my Band-Aid is what's throwing me off today. But one catastrophe after another, I have a finished card that I really like. I'm going to leave a link to all of the supplies used down below in the description of this video. You can also check it out over my blog. And if you visit my blog over the next couple of days, you'll see some more projects done with some of the new releases that are available on Spellbinders. But I will link to all of the releases down below in the description. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.